collectively what we're thinking, the strengths that we have, our players know team tactics really well, right? Us as a country, we're team first mentality. The war is not too far away. Every man goes to the military at least 6 months. So our culture kind of helps that team first mentality. So that's our strength. Commitment, discipline, all those things are our strength in players. And then when we compare our players, like where are the weaknesses compared to Canadian players, USA players, mainly North American players. Maybe awareness, deceptiveness, like how deceptive our players are. We're really structured, but our players are not really good at taking advantage of what the game now offers. Skills in buck paddles, that is something that we're not the best at. Might be because the rink is a little bit bigger in our country, so those situations just doesn't occur that much in a game. And then, of course, our kind of, we've been worried about this all the time. Well, Patrik Laine was the first one after Teemu Selänen, who was a really good goal scorer. But just scoring skill as individuals and as a unit, it's not in a level that we can compare to, let's say, North Americans. Maybe it's because our players are, again, team first, they're not too individualistic yet, but that's something that we have to really work on. So that's what we look at, how our national teams play, junior national teams play against the opposite countries. And then, what does it look like right now in our clubs, in practice? I think this might be something that you have to think about, like how is it in your own clubs? I got a story. I was visiting U16 team a couple of years ago. They were really good at that time. They were top of the league. My job was to mentor the coach as a regional coach back then. I was on the ice with the team. The practice was going on. I was talking with the coach beforehand, and I was just hanging around on the ice, seeing what was going on, making some notes. And at one point, the drill started. After that, I kind of played dumb and went to 7 players to ask, like, what are we doing? Like, why are we doing this practice? What is the specific thing that we're practicing right now? Where's the problem? I got 7 different answers, and none of them were the same that the coach gave me. And that's a lot of times, you might feel like our players, they really know that what we're doing, but are you really sure? You've been on the whiteboard drawing, you've been telling, this is the drill that we're going to do next. Are you sure that they really are thinking the same thing that you are? Because that's my experience is, like, it looked like a really good practice. There were a lot of speed, good passes, it looked like a good practice. But the players didn't have the same understanding with the coach that what was the main thing in that practice. They might be in the same ballpark, like we're practicing defense, but there's a lot of things in defense. So that's one thing I see a lot. And then to continue with that, like how does it look then if that was U16? Then there's a piece of research made in Finland where a researcher was working in a hockey U20 team for 2 years. Outside of hockey, hasn't been in contact with hockey before, and kind of getting understanding, like, what's the culture in hockey. And there's a nice piece in that research where this researcher picks 3 boys after the practice and gives them a lift home. And there was in the research, there's a kind of like a interview. There was a quote, like what was going on in the conversation. And she asked the players, like, there's one thing that I'm really curious about, or I'm wondering about. That in practice, when the coach blows the whistle, you go to the whiteboard, and then it looks like you 3 are focusing for like 5 seconds. And you start looking at the stands, you start moving your skater. It looks like you don't concentrate at all. And then what's surprising is, like, when the drill starts, All of you guys know what to do. Like, how come? The players' answers, it's the same drills. You see it, you know what's coming. The same drills run all over again. Like, they're not there for learning, they're just repeating drills. There's no problem, they're repeating drills. The coach is telling the drill, the players are doing the drill. Is that really the best way for learning?